Hey everybody, what's up? Craig Severinson here, and we are ready for our final session in the Perfect Pricing virtual workshop. I'm really excited for it because today we're talking all about mindsets to build a 6 or 7 figure business. And this is the thing that ties it all together. This is really like I don't know what the best analogy is, maybe the gas in the tank, right? This is the thing that gets everything else moving, because you can have everything else right, but if you're not in the right mindset, then you don't do the things you know you're supposed to do to get the results you want to get. So I'm excited. And just to review what we've already gone over, this workshop started way back on Tuesday, where we talked about pricing your services and packaging them so that clients actually want to buy, so that you make more money and then it's easier to sell them. And this whole thing is called the Perfect Pricing Workshop, and really just that first session was all about pricing. But what we really discovered was that pricing and getting a good price for your packages, for your services, is a lot more than just setting a number, right? It's a little bit more comprehensive. So the next session on Wednesday, we talked about sales. Now that you've got a great package, you've got a great price, how do you sell that price so that you actually make the money you want to make? And then yesterday we talked about marketing, getting your marketing really moving, getting focused in your time, your tactics, and there's another T word, target, target, tactics, time, so that now that you've got the right package, now that you know how to sell, you actually start getting leads into that funnel and get the clients coming in. So now, those three things were great. And if you do those three things, you're going to get clients. The problem is most of us don't do it. So today we're going to talk about the mindsets you need to be in so that you build a 6 or 7 figure business, and then also the blocks that hit you that stop you from building a 6 or 7 business. And figure business. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm looking at my notes. There's a lot to cover today, and I want to make sure we get to it all. So sorry, I always feel bad like I'm not engaging with you when I look over, but just know that I am doing it so that we make sure we talk about all the important things. Okay, so today's conversation is really important because every entrepreneur faces blocks or things that stop them from getting what they want. And I think, my experience, I think, is similar to most people's experiences. I see this with my clients all the time too, where it's like, you may not have ever experienced blocks or internal issues ever before in your life. But then when you become an entrepreneur and everything rests on you, it's a whole new level. It's a whole new level of stress. It's a whole new level of responsibility. It's a whole new level of commitment. And all of us deal with that in different ways, but all of us have blocks or obstacles that come up that we have to face. And I used to say, and we build stories around this. I think this is all gonna come through. I don't want to get way too ahead of myself, but we all build stories around these things that happen. And one of the stories I had, I'll just share this with you. One of the stories I had was things used to be easy for me. When I was a kid, I was like the Wunderkinder, right? Like everything fell in place, but now something has changed and suddenly things don't fall in place for me. That was a story that I was having in my head that I had to address, I had to deal with, because that mindset was holding me back, right? So you might have similar mindsets in your life that you need to deal with so that you can move forward. And we're going to talk about those things today. And I want to illustrate how important this stuff is, right? So we're going to do a couple of different activities today. So if you get a piece of paper and pen now, that'll be really handy, because we can't talk about inner work without actually doing some inner work, right? So let's do this little activity. Answer this question for me. Where does happiness come from? Seriously, where does happiness come from? Because we operate lots of times from this mode of, if I just get X amount of money, or if I just get this thing, or if I do this or do that, then I'll be happy. But how many famous people have you heard of that have everything? They've got the fame, they've got the fortune, they've got the house, the car, the pool, whatever it is. but yet they're still miserable. How many songs are there, probably most of them written by the Beatles, about love and happiness not being purchased by money, right? We know happiness doesn't come from things. It doesn't come from money. It doesn't come from fame. It doesn't come from wealth. Yet that's what we're basing our happiness on, right? So we're setting ourselves up for failure. And here's the secret. Happiness is created internally first. Contentment with who you are, where you are first. And then no matter what happens, you can always be happy because you've created it inside you first, right? So this is something all of us know. But I think because it's emotional, it makes sense. When we try to translate this into business, we struggle a little bit. Because your business is just like happiness. If you want a certain level of success, you have to create that success internally first. And that's how it starts coming out externally. And let's illustrate again with happiness, right? How does a happy person act? Right? So if happiness is created internally first and then starts going external, a happy person internally starts doing happy things, which then creates a happy life, right? So success, quote unquote success, right? Or wealth or fame or whatever it is you're chasing after, right? Like just a successful business, whatever a successful business looks like to you. We're chasing that. We have to create that internally first, and then what happens? That affects our actions. And then our actions create that success in our life. And if we're not in alignment here, like if you are constantly in your head living out this story of things used to be good, but now they're not, I can't do this anymore, then no matter what your actions are, your mindset's going to be sabotaging you because your actions and your mindset match, right? So mindset leads to actions, leads to reality, right? So that's why this is so important. And it's a little deep. It's a little in there. I get it. If this is the first time you're experiencing this, you might be going, whoa, Craig, this is a little out there. But it makes sense, doesn't it? Like, seriously, this is, I think even if it's new to you, it's probably resonating because we know this is true, right? And I think happiness is a great example of illustrating this. So let's go a little bit deeper here. Because really what we're getting down to is that all of us have internal blocks, and human nature is to avoid them, to not look at them, right? This is part of our like fight or flight response system, right? We don't want to look at the things that are like big blocks in our lives. But here is the truth you have to embrace right now. And I'm hoping that this session today is going to be full of truth bombs. So I just want you to really brace yourself. I want to rock your paradigm, because if we don't shift your way of thinking, you're not going to get more success. So get ready for some truth bombs. And here's truth bomb number 1. What got you to where you are today will not get you where you want to go. What brought you here will not get you there. The way of thinking that have brought you to this point will not take you to the next level. And if you look at your current situation, for better or for worse, whatever that situation is, it is a direct reflection of you and how you're showing up as the CEO in your business. And why is that? Because mindset, who you are, what you think, affects your actions, creates your reality, creates your situation. So your situation you're in right now is a direct correlation to what you're doing, which is in direct correlation to how you're thinking. I just put all the responsibility on your shoulders, for good or bad. You know, if things are going really well, you're going to pat yourself on the back and be like, yeah, and great. All we're doing now is like saying, how do we take this to the next level? But if things are going poorly for you, you might be like, Craig telling me that it's my fault. No, there's so many things in the world that are going wrong. Well, maybe not everything is your fault, but everything in your business is your responsibility. Ooh, another truth bomb. Extreme responsibility. You've got to take responsibility for your business and your situation, even if it's not your fault that you got into that situation, right? I got in an accident not long ago. It's been maybe 8 months, right? They totaled my car. It's not my fault that this person was on their phone and plowed into me. That's not my fault. They did it. It's all their fault. It is my responsibility to get my car fixed, to deal with the insurance, to fix my life and get back on track, right? It's their fault that they really threw a wrench in everything that happened to me. It really is. You know, my back was hurt. My car was totaled. Like, those are big things. My daughter was in the car with me. She got hurt. You know, these are things I had to deal with. And I could have been, this driver, so angry. I'm going to sue him. I'm going to take him to court. I'm going to do all this stuff. But here's the thing. What would that accomplish? Right? I got to take responsibility for my situation, and I got to fix the problems that need to be fixed, and I need to move on with life. Because holding that resentment, holding that thought process is degenerative, right? Like, it would just take me down a negative route. And that's going to affect the rest of my life. It's going to affect my business. So you've got to take extreme responsibility and realize that what got you here, where you're at now, will not get you where you want to go. And so you've got to adjust. So look at your current situation, because your situation is a direct reflection of who you are and how you're showing up. And if you want something different, we need to do something different, right? And hopefully if this is you, where it's like you're saying to yourself that it is a struggle and you're a little upset that I'm calling you out on this, well, know that this is an opportunity for us to change and grow. This isn't me like ragging on you, being like, and we'll talk about success and failure in a little bit, because I'm not calling you a failure, right? What I'm doing is I'm trying to say, if you want different results, we need to do different things, right? You need to rise to a different level. And so this is a wake-up call. This is an invitation, not a scolding. Not at all. Right? So let's look at some of the common reasons that people fail. Some of the common holdbacks that people have. And I've got 6 of them, and we're just going to go through them, and I'm going to give you like quick little, like, here's my opinion on that. And then when we get done with those 6, I'm going to talk about 2 major mindsets that we need to have if you want to build a 6 or 7 figure business. Like, if you just really want to take it up, these are the mindsets you have to have. Okay, so block number 1 is I'm not good enough. Another way of saying that is, can I really do this? Or is my stuff good enough, right? This is probably, I think, I started with this one because I think most of the blocks that we face, most of the fears that we have, are actually based on some version of this. Am I really good enough? Can I really do this? And this is a core issue everyone's got to face at some point. Everyone in their life will face this question, especially if you're doing things that are important or you're doing things that are big, right? If you're doing those things, then you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to ask this question. And part of it is you haven't experienced it yet. So when you haven't experienced it yet, your brain is trying to protect you. It's trying to say, hey, I don't know, can we really do this? I've never done it before. It's a valid question. But you've got to stand true, or you've got to stand firm in the fact that you are good enough, that you can do this, right? You've got everything you need inside of you to make this happen. And what's coming up for me right now is like, if I was holding an apple, right? What's the potential of an apple? Inside of that apple, it's got seeds. What can those seeds become? Does that apple ever doubt its ability to become a tree? Does it? Does it doubt its ability to do something great, even though it's never experienced it before? No, it doesn't. And you're the same way. You're that seed, right? Should you doubt your ability to do something? Well, human nature is to doubt it, but no, you shouldn't doubt. You should believe. You should have faith in it. You should work towards it. And really what we're talking about here is commitment. Just like you need to take extreme responsibility, you need to commit fully to what you're trying to accomplish if you want to build it. If you don't commit, if you're wishy-washy, you might as well just stop. Just go get a job. Because the workforce is full of people who aren't committed. They live for the weekends. They live to go on a Saturday on the boat, a Saturday here, a Saturday there. That's what they live for. Get me through the week, TGI Friday, right? But if you want to be an entrepreneur who really succeeds at a really high level, you get results on a really high level, you have got to commit and you've got to see it through, and you've got to have faith in your business even when no one else sees it. Because the definition of an entrepreneur is somebody who can see something no one else can see. Someone who can create something out of nothing. That is an entrepreneur. That's you. So when you doubt yourself, you got to ask yourself, this is a question of commitment. Am I committed? Yes or no? And when you're committed, you see it through. Okay, number 2, blocks that hold us back. We don't get help or training, or another version of this, a question sometimes is, shouldn't I be able to do this on my own? And I wrote down an example of why I think this is silly, and hopefully you like it. So let's say you wanted to become a brain surgeon. Okay, you wanted to do brain surgery. Great goal, right? Like, you're going to help a lot of people. Shouldn't you be able to figure that out on your own? Like, shouldn't you be able to figure out, maybe with some like free blog posts, or like maybe like some PDFs or something, figure out how to do brain surgery, and then go out, start doing brain surgery. You know, maybe start with your friends and family first. Start doing some brain surgery, and then, you know, eventually you're going to figure it out. You're going to get it, right? And you'll be good to go. Right? That's how it works, right? No, of course not. Of course, I'm being sarcastic. Of course, that's not how you do it. When a brain surgeon's got to study for years, and they get mentors, and they go to school, and people teach them how to do it, right? Now, we're talking life and death with the brain surgery. I get that. And whatever your business is, you might not be thinking this is life and death, but here's the thing. There are people who have done what you want to do. There are training courses out there. They're waiting for you to get help. It is not weakness to get help. It's not a failure to get help. It's smart. And if you want to succeed at a really high level, you have got to go get help. You've got to find training courses. You've got to find mentors. You've got to find people who have done what you've done and will show you how to do it. And yeah, sometimes you got to pay for that. In fact, most times if you really want something, you got to pay for it. But guess what? Those investments in your development and in the growth of your business, they don't cost you anything. They don't cost. They make you money, right? So maybe, yeah, there's an upfront investment. You got to put some money in it. But on the back end, you make so much more and you go so much further. They don't cost you. They make you money. That's a mindset you got to get in your head, right? Okay, number 3 thing that holds people back, or blocks them, right, is some version of, what if people don't like me or my services? What if people don't like my services, or if they don't like me? You know, I think that this is a version of the I'm not good enough thing, right? So if you're struggling with the I'm not good enough thing, this is another manifestation of that. What if people don't like me? I'm scared of being judged by other people. And I've got some shocking news for you. Come here. There's gonna be people who don't like you. There's gonna be people who judge you. And guess what? Especially if you do things online, there's gonna be haters. There's gonna be people who, for whatever reason, they just don't like you. And that's the truth of it. And so rather than trying to avoid the haters, avoid people who don't like you, you've got to learn how to internally create that success so that the haters don't bug you, right? And that's tough. You know, for me, that's tough too. Especially because, like, I'm really into personality assessments, and I know that my personality, I really like people to like me. Like, that's one of the ways I like to operate. So when I face the haters, it hurts me more than it might hurt the normal person, just because that's important to me. But you've got to create that stability on the inside so that when you face those haters on the outside, it doesn't affect you as much. And here's why. This is why you need to do that. Because let's flip that thought on its head. You know, we're sitting here thinking, what if people don't like my services or don't like me? Well, okay. What about the people who do need you, who will like you? What's going to happen to them if you let fear stop you from getting your product out there in a big way, right? What about all those businesses who need your service, who need you to help them get their business to the next level, who need you to help them accomplish something cool? What about those people? There's so many more people who are going to love you and want your services than there are haters. And guess what? When you meet a hater, you say thanks, but no thanks, and you move on. And you're going to run into them. They're everywhere. You can't avoid them. So don't try to avoid them. Okay, number 4 thing that holds people back is that I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Craig, I'd go get training, but I don't have time. Craig, I would do this thing. I know I need to do my marketing, but I don't have time. I know I should package my services, but I don't have time. I know I should hold sales consultations. I just don't have time. Okay. If you don't have time and you're not getting the results that you want, you're doing something wrong. If you don't have time and you're not getting the results that you want, you're doing something wrong. If you don't have time and you are getting the results that you want, then you're good to go. You don't need to change anything, right? And, well, okay, I'm going to stand by that, because I was going to say, well, what if, like, the thing is you want more time, like more freedom to be with family or something like that? Well, okay, that's a result. So if you're not getting the results that you want and you don't have time, you're doing something wrong. So you need to take a step back and you need to say, what am I doing to cause this situation, so that you can flip it and get to that next level, right? You need to really, if you don't have time, you're not getting the results you want, stop, take a look, because what got you here will not get you there, right? So if you want new results, you have to act in a different manner. That's the truth. If you want different results, you have to act in a different manner. That's the truth. Okay, so here's the next one. I need more training, or I'm just not worth that much money, Craig. I can't raise my prices. I'm not worth that much. I don't have any credentials behind my name. Okay, well, great. This could be true to a degree. Like, let's be honest, like if you were our brain surgeon example we were just using, right? A brain surgeon needs a degree. They need training. That's true. But here's the thing. You probably are more than qualified, good enough to charge prices to build a 6 or 7 figure business right now as you are. And if you need more training to take this further, that's great. But that's a phase 2, that's like a phase 2 project. Don't use that as an excuse for, I can't get what I want now because I don't have this other thing. That's a losing game, because no matter how far you get, there will always be something else that is stopping you from getting what you want. So again, you've got to stop and you got to say, I'm good enough right now. Our example was an apple. The apple doesn't doubt its ability to become a tree, right? The seeds don't doubt its ability to become a tree. You can't doubt your ability to create a 6 or 7 figure business. You can do it. And instead of finding excuses like I don't have enough training or I don't have enough time, you got to find solutions. This is what I'm going to do. I don't have that training, but this is what I'm doing. And this is coming up for me, so I'll share it. Lots of people, so I'm like a business coach. That's what I do. And lots of business coaches, I don't get this from clients. I get this from my like fellow practitioners, colleagues. They're like, oh, where did you study? What credentials do you have? And I'm like, I didn't. I'm just a guy who knows how to get clients. I'm a guy who knows how to build successful businesses. And guess what? That's why people pay me. It's because I know how to build businesses and I know how to get clients. But I look at these other people who have all these like trainings and credentials, and a lot of those coaches, a lot of business coaches or otherwise, they're not doing well themselves. They're doing the same thing that we're talking about. There's always another training. There's always another credential that we have to go after in order to get what we want. So you got to take a stop. You got to take a step back. You got to stop. And you got to say, what am I doing that got me here? Because what got me here won't get me there. Right. Okay. So our next one is, and I'm looking at my notes again. I don't have the money to do blank. Craig, this is great. I want this or I want that. Training, yeah, it sounds good, but I just don't have the money to do it. Craig, I'd love to hire somebody, but I don't have the money to do it. And okay, let's talk about that. If you need to do something like invest in training or invest in employees or invest in like a conference, I don't have the money. I can't do it. Well, okay, so here's the thing, and this is an important one, so I want to look at my notes really quick, just because I want to make sure that we really talk about this one. Not having enough money for something is not truth. It's not truth. it's a story we tell ourselves. And this is how I know that. So my background, before I so, I worked for Disney, I worked for LMNPR, and my last job in the corporate world was for a large nonprofit, and we worked with helping people get out of poverty. And for a while, I was amazed that all these people who were like coming to a food bank, who couldn't put food on their table, they all had like the newest, latest, and greatest iPhone or cell phone. And I was always like, man, isn't that weird? Like, they should be putting their, I'm not judging anybody now. Okay, so I don't know how you feel about it, but I now know enough about poverty and about the way that our minds work that I don't judge them. They deserve a nice phone just as much as you or I deserve a nice phone. But back then I used to say, how in the world can they have a phone but not put food on the table? I don't get it. I don't understand that. And this is what I really discovered, is that we find money for the things we want. So, if you don't have the money for something, it's either you don't really want it or you're not really committed to getting what you want. Oh, but Craig, there really is no, look at my bank account. There's no money in the bank account. Okay, great. Do you really want this? Because if you really want this, you'll find the money, right? If this really is an investment that's going to take you to the next level, whatever it is, you'll find the money. And I struggled with this too. Like, when I first hired someone to help me in my business, I was scared to death. I was scared to death that if I hired them, that I wouldn't be able to pay them like the next month. Like, I was just like, oh my goodness, this person is trusting me. How am I going to make these payments? And guess what? Like, 8 months later, I was sitting there and I was like, man, I'm so grateful I did this. I've been able to grow so much. And guess what? Paying them was never a problem. I found the money every single month. Never a problem, right? So, if money is holding you back, if that's an excuse why you're not doing something, then guess what? Money's not the problem. It's all internal. And let's do a little exercise to illustrate this. So grab your pen and paper, and you can write this in the comments too. But I want you to pretend that I am money. I am the personification of money. Hi, I'm money. I want you to tell me right now, you can write it down, or you can write it in the comments, or you can say it out loud, whatever you want to do. I want you to tell me what you feel about me. Say, money, this is my interpretation of you. This is what I think about you. And tell me, what do you think? Like, some thoughts might be coming to your mind right now. And I'm going to give you a second, so it's going to be uncomfortable because there's going to be some silence here, just for a second. But I want you to actually answer that. Tell money, tell me, I'm money. Tell me what you think of me. I'm going to grab a drink. I always try to get out of camera when I take a drink. I think I look weird, but I didn't get out. That's okay. Okay, just like 20 more seconds. And I know this isn't enough time to really do this exercise, but write it in there. What do you think about money? Okay. So I want to tell you about my experience. I did this. I invested in a conference, went to a conference. We did a lot of inner game work, and we did this activity. And I was really surprised at my answer. I looked at the person next to me and I said, hey, I'm so grateful for you, money. I'm so grateful for what you allow me to do. You allow me to help other people. You allow me to provide for my family. You allow me to do really fun things. I love the relationship we have. I love that you come into my life to help, and I love that you go out of my life to help other people. And I had this really crazy, like, conversation of gratitude to money. And I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that I felt that way. And then we did it with partners, and the partner turned to me and he said, he was like, I hate you, money. You're never there when I need you. It's always a struggle to get you. Like, why are you never here? And like, he was angry with money. And I was really like, what's the difference between, because we're talking about the same thing. Money acts the same way with him as it acts with me. So what's the difference? It's your internal state. It's the way you view money. It's the way you act with money. Money's a mirror. It's neutral, right? It's not mean. It's not evil. It's not good. It's not benevolent. It's not nice. it's just paper. It's just a thing. We put value on it. So however you feel about money is the story you tell yourself, right? And if you can start viewing money like the owner of a business who is successful, right? A 6 or 7 figure business owner, how would they deal with money? Because they're not going to operate from a standpoint of money doesn't grow on trees. We can't invest in stuff. They're not going to operate like that. They're going to say, this is needed. We're going to find the money. Right? And they're going to make it happen. So if money is the reason it's holding you back, guess what? It's not really money. It's something internal. It's a story you're telling yourself. It's an interpretation. And this is a great segue because now we've talked about some of the most common blocks, and let me read them again. We said, I'm not really good enough. Can I really do this? That was number 1. Number 2 was, I don't get help. Like, shouldn't I be able to do this on my own? And we talked about that's not true. Number 3 is, what if people don't like my service or my product? Man, again, you can't avoid the haters. The haters are there. So it's about creating that satisfaction internally and then going after those people who do love you because they need your service. Flip that on its head. Number 3, I don't have time. If you don't have time, you're not getting the results you want. You're doing something wrong. So you need to take a step back and you need to create time. Number 5, I need more training. I can't charge that much because I don't have the credentials. Again, if that's not true. The apple doesn't doubt its ability to become a tree. You shouldn't doubt your ability to create a 6 or 7 figure business. And then I don't have the money to do blank. Again, we just talked all about that. Money is neutral. This is an interpretation. It's a story. Okay, so let's talk about how we overcome this, right? And there's really 2 things that I want to go over, and I want to find them so that I do this well. Okay, so there's 2 things, 2 key mindsets that I think will be just paradigm shifting for you. The first is what I call the future you mindset, right? The future you mindset. And the second one is, let's just discuss the difference between success and failure, okay? And let's start right there because this is really important and I'm going to go deep with you. So hang in here with me, okay? The difference between success and failure. We need to start here. Everything in the world, everything you see isn't real, right? It's all electrical currents in your brain. Everything we see, the way we see the world, it's all an interpretation in our brain, right? And our brain uses stories to help us interpret the world around us. So everything we see is just, we're not really seeing it, we're interpreting it in our brain, right? And success and failure are the same way. Success and failure are not absolute truths. And how can we prove this? We can prove this by, here's an experience. 2 clients of mine got the same results working on similar projects. One person considered it a complete success, life-changing success. The other person considered it a failure. Can't believe it went this poorly. Same results, similar projects, 2 different interpretations of the scenario. Success and failure are all an interpretation of events. They are not absolute truths. Success and failure is subject to the viewpoint of the person experiencing the events, right? So what is a success or a failure is completely defined by your interpretation of the story, right? So I want to get this right. So I want to look at my notes. So interpreting things as this is success, this is a failure, in my opinion, is not helpful. It's not helpful to say, oh, this was super successful, this was a failure. That's not useful to me. What is useful is to say that there's 2 things. First of all, is creating a successful person internally so that I am a successful person, right? I feel successful. I wake up in the morning, I'm alive. That is success. I am a successful person. I can feel that on the inside. And then nothing else matters. Like, there is no such thing as failure to me. I am success. Right? So that's interpretation mindset number 1 that I choose. You don't have to do that, but I choose that. And number two is if success and failures are an interpretation and they're an interpretation that don't serve me, then I'm going to choose a different interpretation. And my interpretation, like when I'm going after a goal or a project or really trying to do something that's important to me, I don't view this in terms of success or failure. What I think is one of two things is going to happen when I go after a big project or a big goal. Either I'm going to get the results that I'm trying to get, which is fantastic, or I'm going to learn. There's no success, there's no failure. Either I get what I want or I learn, and then I can reset and do it again. Either I learn I don't want those results, or I learn how to get those results better, and I get to reset and go again. And guess what? That takes all that energy of success or failure and gets rid of that negative energy and gets my mindset in this mode of, I'm going to succeed no matter what, and I'm just going to keep moving forward. And guess what? I get to accomplish bigger, better things than most people because of that mindset, because I choose to interpret my success or failure not as success or failure, but as either I get the result or I get to learn. So stop beating yourself up over these things, because failure is not really failure. It's an interpretation of events that you are choosing. So if you are feeling miserable because of failures in your life, here's another truth bomb. See, I'm softening it for you. If you're miserable because of failures in your life, here's the truth. You are choosing an interpretation of an event that makes you miserable. So stop choosing that interpretation and start choosing a better one. What did you learn, and what are you going to do moving forward? That is a useful interpretation. Being miserable and wallowing in failure, not useful. Not useful at all. So let's get rid of it. Let's stop using it, right? And that's tough. I get it. It's tough. I'm throwing these things at you like, oh yeah, super easy. But I get it. It's tough. And it takes practice and time. But start internalizing this stuff. Start internalizing it, and you will get to where you want to go. And it will change over time. Right? Okay, so that was concept number one, is success versus failure. There's actually no such thing. It's all interpretation. Right? Mindset number two, and this is really important, is what I call the future you mindset. And we've said this like 10 times already. What got you here will not get you where you want to go, right? What got you here won't get you there. So what we got to do is we got to start changing our internal mindset, so we start thinking differently, so that we do different actions, so that we get different results. Right? Can we agree on that? Different mindset, different actions, different results. So we want to raise your level of thinking so that you start doing different things. So let's do this. Grab your pen and paper, right? And I want you to take a minute, and I want you to write down exactly what you want your business to look like. Start writing it down. What do you want your business to look like? How much money do you want to make? Let's start with that. How much money do you want to make? Write it down. Write down what sort of things you want to be doing. What do you want to be doing in your business, right? We're talking your super successful business. Like, if this business was done, how much money would you be making? What would you be doing? What would your clients look like? Write that down. What would your clients look like? What does your team look like? Do you have a team, right? What are they doing for you? And then write down, how does it feel to get that level of success? Now that you've got it, how does it feel? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel good? Do you feel content? Right? All those things. Okay. So I want you to take a look at that vision for just a moment and really internalize it. Really let it sink in, right? Like, what do you want? Now, here's the golden question. If you already had that business, you're already there, what decisions would you be making? How would you act if you already had that business? That is the future you mindset. That is the mindset that is going to get you where you want to go, because The mindset you have now got you to where you are right now. But if we raise our level of thinking and look at our decisions through the lens of, if I already had my dream business, what decisions would I make? That's going to raise your level of thinking. That's going to affect the decisions and actions you take, and that's going to get you the results that you want. So you got to start thinking that way so that you can start acting a new way so that you can get different results. And it works. It's true. I mean, just thinking about it, I hope that it's resonating with you. I hope this is really hitting home for you, because these are the things that really make a difference, really make the difference between somebody who succeeds and somebody who doesn't. And there's two things that we mentioned that I didn't even have on my notes that I think are important to point out. Extreme responsibility and extreme commitment. If you can really internalize those as well, like those are game changers. Like this stuff I'm throwing at you, it's not fluff. And maybe you've heard this stuff before, maybe you haven't. If this is rote to you, or it sounds like, hey, this is just stuff Craig is talking about, this is the difference. This is the stuff that makes the difference between people I see who succeed and people I see who fail and struggle. And I want you to win. I want you to succeed. I want you to... The things you got to bring to the world, the things that you do for other people are needed, right? You're in a great position where you get to make a huge difference in the world, and I want you to win. And I think that this is a great time, a great transition point to start bringing up what we've been building up to, what we've been talking about, and that is the Core 4 trainings. I really, part of this process, I wanted to get you to a spot where you really could go out and kill it. And I think you could take all the trainings throughout the last 4 days and you could really build a business that works. But I know through experience that most people won't do it. They need more support. They need more training. And so the Core 4 are my 4 core training courses that get you to a 6-figure business, that get you to that 6-figure and beyond level. And this stuff is so important. And that's why I provide so much value up front. That's why I push and hope and try to get you to get success now, so that you can invest in yourself in this sort of training so that you can take it to the next level, because your business needs to win, because your message needs to get out there, and the things you're doing are important, and your approach to it is important. So let me tell you about the Core 4 training programs. So there's 4 of them, right? That's why they're called the Core 4. The first one is the Perfect Pricing Training Program, right? Which is the namesake of this virtual workshop, the Perfect Pricing Training Program. And in this program, we go over in depth how to package and price your services so that people want to buy it, right? And I also give you step-by-step formulas and worksheets so that, you can present those packages in a way that people really respond to it. There's also a whole lesson inside of that course on scaling your business, right? Taking this a step at a time so that you can grow it to wherever you're at. Let's say you're barely doing anything. You want to take it to just high 5 figures. Great. That's phase 1. Phase 2 maybe is 5 figures to multiple 6 figures. Great. Phase 2. Multiple 6 figures. Now we're approaching 7 figures. Phase 3. I'm going to talk to you about how you plan that out and how you execute so that you really can make that happen. And that's all in the Perfect Pricing Training Program. The next program is the Conversations That Sell program. And this is a comprehensive sales training, right? It's over 8 hours of sales material. And we go over prospecting. We go over how to hold your consultation, how to overcome any objections that your clients will have. Seriously, you get done with this and you have a sales process in place. We create a sales script for you so that you know exactly what to say so that clients respond and so that you make the sale. It is so important. It is so valuable. Sales is the thing that 99% of entrepreneurs overlook. This is so important for you, and this makes it easy. It takes what you would learn in 5 years of business and condenses it into one succinct, results-focused program that helps you create sales very quickly. Start landing those clients for that higher price because we did the perfect pricing. Now we've got a really good price. We know we're going to make money. Now we're going to sell it and we're going to make it happen. That's perfect, or conversations that sell. The next one is called the Marketing Mastery Playbook. And this helps you with your marketing, right? We're going to get you a marketing plan in place so that you're focused on your target market, you're focused in your tactics, you're focused in your time. And this is going to help your marketing really get traction so that you can start getting consistent leads month after month. Now, this program has training on over 9 different marketing tactics, from speaking to networking to LinkedIn to live events to, there's tons of material in this. But it's like a choose your own adventure book, because you don't actually need to do 9 different tactics. You need 3. So I'll walk you through a process of choosing 3 tactics, learning how to focus up so that you can make them work, and then I'll give you in-depth training on tactics that are proven to work, right? So that's the Marketing Mastery Playbook. And then last but not least in the Core 4 is a program I call Thrive. And it's just all about mindset, time management, and setting goals. So this is the inner game of the entrepreneur. The stuff we talked about today, we take it deeper. And this is the stuff that really sets you on fire, gets you going. And as a bonus, when you purchase this Core 4, when you invest in it, right now, during this enrollment period, which is only 5 days long, we're going to do it live. We're going to do it live on group phone calls starting November 9th. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so exciting. And you get some, special attention because we're doing it live. Those other ones are home study courses. They're recorded. They've got worksheets. You go through it at your own pace. You can go as fast or as slow. I don't like, you should at a good pace, not super slow, but you can go as fast or as slow as you want to go. They're home study courses. And speaking of bonuses, there are quite a few bonuses included in this. And I want to walk you through them because almost every one of those has bonuses built into it. So we already talked about with Thrive, the bonuses, we're doing it live. With the Marketing Mastery Playbook, you're getting another training included with that I call Go Get Clients Now. And for those that are looking to jumpstart their business, like you need clients right now, you don't have time to go through all this training. You need to start getting some traction right now. This is like the shortcut, real quick version of here's how you go get traction. Go get them. This is it, right? And then you can go back and do the rest of the training while also generating clients at the same time. So that's a bonus session that I'm including for free in this. Another one that I'm including, it's packaged with the Perfect Pricing Program, is a bonus training session called Creating Your Results Success System. And a results success system is cool. It's just a methodology that you use to do what you do, and it instantly builds credibility, it instantly builds trust, and it makes it easy for you to explain how you do what you do to people so that they want to work with you. They're curious. They want to know more, right? The results success system. Another free training session, a whole session with worksheets and everything included for free. It's packaged with the Perfect Pricing Program. And then with the Conversations That Sell program, there's actually 2 bonus training sessions. The first one is I bring in an expert on personality. His name is Art Snarzik of Interview Advisors. And he goes over the DISC profile and how to sell to the different DISC personalities so that you can recognize it and you know what's going to apply to them and your sales can be even more effective. And then the second one is on techniques and tools that you can use to really make your sales a lot more effective. So these are things that are really important, really good, and really up your sales game, but they're not really like the methodology, so they didn't quite fit in the Conversations That Sell program. So they're great bonuses to really round you out in sales. And really, Conversations That Sell is great for anyone that thinks, oh, sales is sleazy and slimy. No, we're going to do it in a natural way. We're going to do it in a way that provides value to your clients, and we're going to do it in a way that really works, gets you clients. And then on top of those bonuses, so we've already got a ton of bonuses, and I know I'm just throwing everything at you, right? I'm going to give you a link in just a minute to go check this out so you can actually see it on paper. But I've got 3 more major bonuses that I'm going to give you. The first one is I'm actually going to include a whole other program called the Clients on LinkedIn Marketing System. And this program is designed to get you to go from doing nothing on LinkedIn to generating leads and getting clients in just 5 days. It's a comprehensive LinkedIn lead generation marketing system. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to include it for free. And inside of that are bonuses as well. You're going to get a LinkedIn sales brief. How do you adapt your sales to LinkedIn? It's got a bonus message template. So I actually provide LinkedIn lead gen as a service. So I've got proven templates that I've used for my clients to generate 30, 60 leads a month that I'm just going to give you for free. They're included in there. So you don't have to create it yourself. You can just use my templates. You know, you can adjust it to your own business, but there's templates and there's formulas. So you know how to create it, and you'll see really good examples of it. And then 3 is I'm going to give you the bonus client attracting profile checklist so that you know that your LinkedIn profile is set up to get clients in the door. Another bonus I'm giving you is another program. So in top of the core 4 programs, you're going to get the Clients on LinkedIn Marketing System, another full program, and you're going to get my yearly planning formula for high performers, which is my program, Planning for the Best 12 Months. Another great this program helps you get identify those really big projects that are super important to take your business to the next level. And then it gives you hands-on, here's how you execute planning advice and tips and techniques so that you actually do what you've planned to do. Like, this is great, and we're approaching the end of the year right now. So this is a must-have for your yearly planning as we get closer to December and January. So that's 2 bonus programs. 2 bonus programs. And then number 3, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to actually do a live phone call for a ROM, Results-Oriented Marketing Message, ROM creation workshop. The ROM is such an essential part of your business that I actually want to give you some guidance on it. Included in the marketing training is a lesson called The Client Attracting Brand, where we create your results-oriented marketing message. On this phone call, I'm going to help you really fine-tune it and craft it, give you some examples, look at your stuff, make sure that it's working well, and ensure that this piece of the puzzle really is top-notch, because it's really one of the most important things you can do for your business. So I'm including that bonus because I think it's just so important that you get some help with that. Okay, man. There's tons of stuff there, right? So along with the core 4, I mean, there's more bonuses than there are in what you're just included in the core 4. Like, there's so much there. I'm really excited for you to get it because this is life-changing. Like, I 100% know that this is life-changing. It worked for me. It's worked for all of my clients. I've seen so many lives changed. So many people get bigger, better results, build 6-figure businesses and beyond through this stuff that this course entails. And I want you to fully step into that CEO role right now and make the investment in your business. And I think that brings us to probably what you're thinking right now is, Craig, this sounds great. I'm sold. But what is the cost? Like, what is the cost? And I want to reiterate to you that this program, these trainings, they don't cost anything. There's no cost because this is an investment, right? You invest here in yourself, in your development, in you as the CEO, and in your business, and it will pay for itself over time. And it will pay in big ways. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to get X amount of money. Like, I can't guarantee you're going to make 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever, because it all depends on you. It depends on your commitment. It depends on you listening to the trainings and applying what you learn. So I can't guarantee X amount of money, but I do 100% guarantee these programs. If you're not satisfied in 30 days, you let me know. It's super easy. You send me an email. You say, Craig, this isn't working for me. I don't like it. I can't get the money out of my pocket and into your hands fast enough, because this stuff is meant for people who are ready to take it to the next level. This stuff is meant to help you grow your business. And it will do that if you commit to it. It will do that if you work it, right? So I 100% guarantee it. Works. Without a question in my mind, it works. So the investment for this program, for all of that stuff, the core 4 trainings and all the bonuses, the investment is $2,997. Or we can do 6 payments of $533. And you do pay a little bit more if you do the monthly installments. You get a little bit of a discount for paying in full. That's another bonus for you if you pay in full. And if you're ready to make that investment, if you're ready to take your business to the next level, then go to my website, brightworkspr.com/core. So all lowercase, CORE, 4, the number 4. And that's where you're going to see it. So Brightworks PR, as in public relations, brightworkspr.com/core4. And the link is actually in the description. So click there if you need to, brightworkspr.com/core4, and go ahead and invest in this program. And it's going to be a great investment. You're going to make a great choice, and it's going to really affect your business and get you going. And while you do that, I want to go over, there's one more bonus. If you purchase today, so today is September 28th, 2018, and if you purchase today before midnight Central Time, and yes, I operate on Central Time. I'm in St. Louis proud, so it's Central Time it is. If you purchase before midnight Central Time, then I'm going to give you one more bonus, and that is a one-on-one call with me for 45 minutes where we laser focus coach you. Like, I'm going to get you moving. And we're going to set that up at your convenience. So maybe we do it when you've listened to some of the trainings. Maybe we do it this week. But I'm going to give you one-on-one time where we really look at your business with me and really amp things up so that you're guaranteed to have success. And then speaking of timeline, so deadline for that is midnight tonight. You want that bonus, you want that one-on-one call with me, you got it by tonight before midnight Central Time. And if you want to purchase at all, the cart closes and your opportunity to get the Core 4 programs ends at midnight on Tuesday, November 2nd. So we only have 5 days because this sells quickly. So I only open it up for 5 days, and then it's closing, and then your opportunity is gone. And I don't know when it's going to open again. So opportunity lost if you don't get in within those 5 days. So go ahead, go right now, brightworkspr.com/core4. Sign up for the Core 4 programs. Get all those bonuses. We'll get on the phone, and life will be awesome. We'll get things really moving for you. And while you do that, let me go over a case study. I want to go over an example of this stuff. And, you know, everyone who puts this stuff in practice, everyone who goes through these courses, puts them in practice, sees really big growth in their business. And I've got lots of stories about going from nothing to 6-figure businesses, going from 6-figure businesses to multiple 6-figure businesses. Like, there's lots of stories about growth, but none of them are as inspiring, I think, as one of my clients that I want to tell you their story. Not long ago, they were actually living out of their car, right? So they're, that's technically homeless. I'm sure they wouldn't like to be called homeless, but they're living out of their car. And they didn't want to give up on their dream, but it just wasn't working, right? And that's a tough situation to be in, right? Where you are really, really at the edge, the limit, physically, and you're not giving up on your dream. I mean, I think that says a lot about their commitment to their business. And in that, they decided to invest in these very same programs, these very same trainings. And over the course of 6 months, they went from 0 to last month they made over $10,000. And their business just keeps on growing. And that was in 1 month, right? So they've essentially in 6 months built a 6-figure business, right? So they do 10 grand each month times 12 months, that's $120,000, right? So they've built a 6-figure business in less than 6 months. They've gone from essentially nothing to so much. And the key for her, what she said, what is the key? What is the difference? It was the mindset. It was the mindset about results, the mindset about packaging and pricing, the mindset about how you show up in your business. That stuff really made the difference for her. And so that's why it's so important that we do this comprehensive Core 4 program, not just one, not just two, but we got them all together so that you can really succeed. And I think, talk about commitment, talk about the future you mindset. She really exemplified those things. And if you can follow her example and even have a fraction of the commitment, a fraction of the mindset, I think you'll see fantastic results as well. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes, and that's the last thing we've got on the call today. So I'm really excited to be here with you. I really enjoyed doing this workshop with you, and I think in the future we might do more. I think this was really valuable. I think that some of you are going to get value from just watching some of these the videos and see what we're talking about. Some of you are going to purchase and invest and go further, go deeper with me. But I think overall this is valuable for everybody. So I'm really glad that we were able to do this. And I'd love to hear your comments and your takeaways. So, leave them in the comments here, and we'll take those into account. But until next time, head over to brightworkspr.com/core4, CORE, the number 4, all lowercase, and you'll see where you can sign up and invest in your business and yourself and get that business you've always wanted. Get the growth you've always wanted. Land more clients faster than you think possible. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.